Zana and welcome to Year 2 Phonics. We're up to lesson 37. It's a phonics focus again today. Let's start by activating our phonemic awareness and listening. We're going to do it a little bit different today. We're going to try flexing our sounds, not flexing our muscles, but flexing our sounds to see which words make sense. So remember, we've told you that sometimes when we have a grapheme that can make two sounds, we need to flex the sound to work out which one it is. We're going to use some pictures of words today. We're going to try flexing the sound using the sounds we're learning. So we're going to have a look and see if all these words have CH in them. We're not showing you the word, but we're going to talk about the word with the picture. In the word, do we hear sh as in chef, or do we hear ch as in cheese? Okay, you ready to flex? Let's go. This here, do we say chiffon or chiffon? Yeah, it's chiffon, isn't it? But it sounds a bit funny, it's chiffon. How about this one? Is it a chaise or a chaise? Can you remember from last time? It's a chaise. Well done. That CH is making sh. How about this dude here? He's cooking us a beautiful meal. Is he a chef or a chef? Yeah, he's the chef. He's the one who cooks the delicious food. How about this last one? We've got this very, very chic looking man here in a suit driving a beautiful limousine. Is he a chauffeur or a chauffeur? Yeah, he's a chauffeur. So sometimes we just need to flex those sounds. So when we see CH in a word, usually it's going to make ch, but sometimes it might make sh, like in these words: chiffon, chaise, chef and chauffeur. Well done. Let's do some more work with our graphemes. Time for our grapheme deck. Are you ready? Two sounds. U as in screw, U as in Jew. U, first choice for spelling. J. Long, A, short, A. V, no English word ends in a V, it must be followed by an E. Good job. Split vowel, A. I and E, remember piece of pie. Short, E, long, E. Or, A. Or, I. It's our trigraph. Soft, S, hard, K. Well done. Short, O, long, O. And this one, remember the three sounds? One of them we're looking at more today. As in cheese, it's, well done, ch. As in chef, it's sh. Excellent. And in school, it's k. Fantastic. It's a really tricky one. We're going to work with this one a little bit more today. Our learning intention today is to use some different graphemes. We're going to use CH and SH, making the phoneme sh. Because remember, this is the first one we learnt to make sh as in shell. And then we've had a look at this one, CH making sh as in chef. Remember that these CH words making sh come from the French. So they're often French words and we don't have them a lot when we're reading and writing, but we do need to know them. So CH making sh and SH making sh. Let's see if we can distinguish between those today. Are you ready? Let's review the new spelling and vocabulary words that we examined last time. I'm going to pop them up here. There's lots of bits missing. The only bits there are the CH making sh. We're going to see if you can fill in the rest of the missing pieces. Have a look. I'll quickly run through what the words are and then you're going to pause the video and try and write them on your page. Chef, shoot, chic, bechamel, chiffon, chanson, chandelier, charade, chaise. See how you go. You might have had some of them in your independent activity last time as well. Have a go, pause the video, try and write all those words, then come back and check them with me. How did you go with writing those words? Did you get all the tricky spellings? Have a nice close look. Make sure you got them all. If you need to make any corrections, just go back and write it again when you've checked the spelling. Make sure when you're doing it as well, if you say the sounds as you write them, it'll help to make it stick in your head because these are tricky, tricky words. How'd you go with chandelier? It's a really long word, isn't it? I had to stop and think when I wrote that one too. I broke it into syllables and I sounded out each syllable and worked out the sounds that way. Maybe that's how you did it too. Well done. You've done that practice of those words, done a little bit of writing. We're now going to tune in to the phonemes and the graphemes with a little bit of a reading passage. So I'm going to pop the passage up, then we're going to have a talk about the phonemes and the graphemes that we have in there. As we go through our grapheme deck, remember that some graphemes can make two phonemes. So when we see CH, we know that it can make ch like cheese, and it can also make sh like chef. So one grapheme, two phonemes. But did you know that some phonemes also have two graphemes? So we know that SH can also make sh. So one phoneme sh, two graphemes. CH as in chef, the French phoneme, and then SH as in shell. Same phoneme, different grapheme. It's really tricky, isn't it? And then when we look at ch, we know that ch can also be made with TCH, ch, at the end of a short word after a short vowel. So many things to remember, isn't there? We're going to have a look for all of these graphemes and listen carefully to the phonemes they're making in this reading passage and do a little bit of a word sort. So let's see how we go. I'll read the passage for you. You can read along with me and then we'll talk about how we might sort some of these words. So let's have a look. The chatty chef clutched the freshly made bechamel sauce as he tripped over the chair. Oh dear. He couldn't catch the sauce and it splashed all over his checked shirt. After the fiasco, he lay stretched out on the chaise to rest. Oh, it was so hard. What about fiasco? What kind of a word is that? That's a funny word, isn't it? Fiasco. It's like a bit of a drama, a bit of a disaster. Something's happened and it usually involves a bit of a mess or some kind of a problem. So in my house, it's a fiasco when my big dog goes swimming in the pond and then comes running through the house and jumps on my bed and she's all wet. That is a fiasco, especially when we're all chasing after her, trying to stop her do it. It looks really funny. It's a bit of a fiasco. So I think watching this chef, poor chef, carrying his bechamel sauce all nicely and then he's tripped on a chair and the sauce has gone everywhere and it was such a drama, such a fiasco that he's had to sit down and rest on the chaise. He's put his feet up. It was just too much for the poor chef. I wonder who had to clean it all up. I hope he went back and cleaned it up. Don't know. We didn't get to find that bit out. Maybe you could write the end of the story and see if he gets off the chaise and cleans it up. So let's have a look then at those graphemes and phonemes. Remember we talked about all the different ones there? So we can see we've got SH making sh. So the grapheme SH making the phoneme sh. We also have the grapheme CH making the phoneme sh. We've got CH making the phoneme ch in there. And then we've got TCH making the phoneme ch. Wow, a lot of sounds, a lot of graphemes. But your year twos, I know you can do it. Might take a little bit of thinking and really good listening, but I reckon we can sort those words really easily. I'm going to do a couple and then I'm going to pause and get you to see if you can find the rest of them. So let's have a look. The chatty chef. Oh, the CH is definitely making a ch there, isn't it? Where's CH making ch? There it is. I'm going to write the word chatty in under that column. Ch, ah. And I need two t's because it's a short at sound. E, chatty. Make sure you're checking the spelling when you're writing it because it's just there for you to have a look at. Next one, chef or chef. We flex it. It's definitely making a sh sound, isn't it? It's not making ch like chatty. So let's put that one in the CH with the sh sound. Sh, f. Say the sounds as you do them because remember, helps to lock it in our brains. Let's see, I'm going to do the next one. Oh, the next one's in here in this word, clutched. I'm going to underline the ones we've done so we don't miss them. Clutched. There it is. It's a TCH making a ch sound. Clutched. Ch. And it's past tense, so it's got ed. Ud. Clutched. What's actually more of a t at the end of clutched. And fresh. Oh, there it is. There's a sh. Fresh. You have to look really carefully because there's lots of graphemes we're searching for in this today. Freshly. 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 I can see that suffix at the end there of ly. Freshly. I've done one of each, so I think that's good. I think it's time for you to have a go now. Remember, you're looking for the graphemes sh, ch, and tch, and when you get to ch, you might need to flex it to know whether it's making a ch sound or a sh sound. So pause the video and see if you can sort those words into the sounds they're making, and then come back to check your work. How did you go? Well, you were busy writing, so was I. That was a really tricky task. I had to look really carefully to find all those words. Let's check the words. With sh making sh, did you get all these words? Did you get freshly, splashed and shirt? The ch making sh was in these words. Chef, bechamel and chaise. The ch making ch was in chatty, chair and checked. The tch making ch was in clutched, catch and stretched. That stretched my brain. I don't know about you. I know that you would have done a really good job and done your best. If you missed any words, pop them in where you were sorting them out. And if you got any words that you didn't spell quite right, just fix them up, say them as you write it, make sure you're getting the right way in your head. And then I think today, because you have done so well, I think today we need a smiley face and 2 stars for that work, because that was super duper hard, and if you've given it your best go and you've corrected it all, you have worked really hard. Are you ready now for the next task? I'm still making you work even a little bit more. We're going to do some writing now. We're going to get something to write with, something to write on, which you already have because you've just done your sorting. Let's use those pens and pencils again. We're going to look just at the phoneme sh, but we've got 2 graphemes to choose from. I'm going to help you make those choices, so you don't have to do it on your own. Ready? There's our word chart. We've got sh and ch both making the sh sound in our words today. So that you don't have to be confused which one to use, because we're still learning and practicing these, I will hold up whether it's sh like shell for the sh sound, or whether it's ch like chef for the sh sound. Are you ready for the first word? Tap and say the sounds in ship. Ship. It's that one. Off you go, write it, say the sounds. I'll do it too. Sh, I, p. Did you get that one? Write the whole word, say it. Sh, I, p. Ship. Well done. Next word. It's our picture clue. Chef. CH. Have a go. Say the sounds. Sh, f. Say them as you write them. Sh, f. Write the whole word and say it. Sh, f. Wow, I'm getting lots of practice of saying this sh sound in different ways today, aren't I? I can hear you having a go as well, which is fantastic. Next word. You ready? Splash. Splash. It's that sh at the end. Splash. Make sure you tap the sounds and listen really carefully to that consonant cluster at the start. Don't miss any sounds. Splash. Splash. Have a go. Splash. Did you get all the sounds? Good job. Write the whole word. Splash. Splash. Fantastic. Next word. Oh, this is a really big word. See how you go. The word is parachute. Parachute. The sh in parachute is CH. Let's tap it out, I think. We might put this one into syllables, perhaps. Parachute. Let's see. Par. I'm going to write that first. Shoot. Remember the sh is CH and it's a split vowel making the oo sound. Have a go of the last bit. Sh, oo, t. There's our split vowel. How did you go? Check it. Write the whole word, say the sounds. Sh, oo, t. Parachute. Good job. Last word, that lovely fluffy fabric. Chiffon. Chiffon. Can you remember? It's a French word. Starts with CH. Chiffon. Remember what we have to do to the f sound to keep the I sound short? Have a go. Sh, I, f, o, n. And write the whole word. Sh, I, f, o, n. How did you go? Did you do your best writing? Did you get all the spelling right? Used all the right graphemes? If not, remember, check it, write it again, that's okay. If you want to practice writing any of them to get your handwriting just perfect, go ahead. You can always pause the video and write them again if you like. Make sure you give yourself a tick for all the work you got right though, because we are working so hard in this lesson. But guess what? You made it to the end. It's time for our learning review. Remember, our learning intention today was to use the graphemes SH and CH to read and write words, making the sh phoneme. Did we do that today? We did. We did a lot of it. We did some really good work, and we even looked at some other ways, the other sounds that CH made as well. So we even did more tricky stuff. Remember that when we see words with the CH making the sh sound, it's usually from the French. They're French words. Your learning activity today, your independent learning task. Are you ready? On your screen, you will see another word sorting grid. But this time there's no sentence at the top to help you. We want to see if you can have a hunt through some books or think up the top, think with your head, talk with mum and dad and anyone else who might be at home to help you. See if you can come up with some more words with those phonemes and graphemes. So with the grapheme, SH making sh and CH making sh and CH making ch and TCH making ch. See if you can think of some more words that have those graphemes. You will need to check them to see what the spelling is, I think. So when you think of the word, you might have to look it up somewhere. You might have to try a dictionary or check with someone else in the house to see which spelling it is. All right, so good job. Have a go of that for homework. It's a tricky task. Well done for hanging in there with all those tricky words today and using your brain so much for all those different graphemes and phonemes we've been looking at. You have done super well. I look forward to catching you next time and we'll do it again.